we have more Ghostbusters news?
Yes, we do. And as I was saying, yes, it does look like it's getting pushed out again. You know, take that for what it's worth.
November.
Yeah. And in a way, it's kind of a good thing, in my opinion, because again, I want to see, look, these movies that get dumped onto streaming services, that's a death knell for them. They are not going to make their money back. You need to see these. And I'm telling you, Netter and I are going to go see it in the theater. We're going to be in costume with our proton packs. Absolutely. We're going, and we'll go multiple times if it's good. You know, yeah. There's no doubt about it. But everybody's freaking out because we finally got some new footage.
You got a clip.
We got a clip, and it's a clip of little mini
Want me to read from the article?
Yeah, go ahead
real quick. Yeah, Sony Pictures offered yet another nibble of what to expect from the upcoming Ghostbusters Afterlife.
I see what they did there.
Yeah, I know, it's funny. In a newly released clip, we see actor Paul Rudd doing some grocery shopping when a bag of mini puff marshmallows goes all gremlins.
Yep.
Check out the brief sequence above. From director Jason Reitman and producer Ivan Reitman, the next chapter in the original Ghostbusters universe will feature a single mom and her two kids after they arrive in a small town. Soon the connection to the original Ghostbusters and their secret legacy their grandfather left behind become clear. And it's written by Jill Ken and Jason Reitman, is based on Ivan Reitman's 1984 from Ghostbusters. I'm keeping my fingers crossed on this one. I think people are freaking out about the scene. Why were they freaking out?
Okay, so it is kind of a bizarre scene, right? Because you got these little mini versions of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, which are all cute, right? They're clearly trying to draw on the whole Grogu,
Baby Groot
kind of thing, right? Okay, I think that makes sense, right? If you're going to draw on success, that's where you do it, okay? But they turn out to be they're representatives of the Destructor, right? So he goes to touch one and it bites him, and then they're doing all kinds of things like they're making s'mores out of each other. It's
a very bizarre scene. The people are arguing, it reminded them of something out of
and
Gremlins,
a lot of people are drawing the comparison to Gremlins, and I think rightly so. I think that's exactly the thing. I mean, if you think about Gremlins, where especially Gremlins 2, right, where the one gremlin takes the acid, throws it on the other one, and he goes and then he takes out the half mask and he becomes the Phantom of the Opera.
Of course.
And what does he do? He laughs. They don't care if they get mutilated and burned, because all they have to do is pour water over themselves and they make more.
They're chaos. Yeah,
exactly. It's just chaos, and it's exactly the same thing here. These things are. You're thinking too much about it. These aren't living creatures. These are ghostly incarnations of the Destructor.
Well, possibly, or it could be something else.
Well, it could be something else, but. See, again, we're talking Ghostbusters lore here, and Dan Aykroyd has done a great job of keeping that lore pretty tight. And in the Ghostbusters 3 video game, they had mini marshmallow, minions, so to speak, of the Destructor, and the Destructor comes back, and there's the big one, and they're fighting the little ones on the ground, and they're like, well, didn't we already stop this guy? And he goes, one form per Destructor per universe. So this is it. Once the Destructor's form was chosen, that's how, if he's going to come back, that's how he has to come back.
So it could be following the game canon. I don't know if the game is going to be considered part of this canon. It could
Even if they don't literally follow the game canon, like those events may or may not have actually happened, I think the lore that Dan Aykroyd put into the game is definitely part of it, because he takes this stuff really seriously. He really believes this stuff.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, too, I am going to say this. I understand why they want to have Stay Puft represented in some form, because he was a big, iconic thing in the first movie. They probably want
marketing. Exactly. They want to freaking make money.
But I want to make a point, though, that I used to have this, my brother used to have this Ghostbusters video game for the Sega Genesis. And what was neat about this video game is that it was a new storyline. It didn't follow the movie storyline, right?
Okay.
But, of course, they wanted to have the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in that. So they actually had a different Stay Puft Marshmallow Man Ghost, and his origin story is he was a person that was so obsessed with Stay Puft marshmallows, he ate so many of them that he died from eating all of them. Do you understand?
My gosh.
And that's how he became, and that's why we have another Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And I could never tell if this is connected to the movie universe, if it's its own game universe thing that they were setting up here. But it was funny that they made up a new origin for why there's another Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in the game. It was clever little video game back in the day. I liked it, but yeah.
The other thing too is if you and again, I've really dug into this. So he's in the shop, right? And they got the mini marshmallows that are Stay Puft, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, Stay Puft is still a brand name in that universe.
Of course.
The fact that Stay Puft tried to destroy New York didn't hurt the brand, apparently. They even have Stay Puft marshmallow ice cream topping in that aisle.
Yeah.
It looks like there was a cereal for Stay Puft.
They mentioned the guy said, "What is this? Red velvet, blue velvet?" And I when I heard him say that, I thought the song "Blue Velvet" from that David Lynch movie popped in my head.
Oh, I didn't even make that connection.
I think that was supposed to be a reference, like he's laughing blue velvet. I think that was a reference to
that. Is funny. I didn't make that connection. You're absolutely right. But yeah, I mean that. I'll be honest with you. Everything I'm seeing here so far, I'm liking. If you're having a problem with some mini marshmallow creatures, skewering each other, roasting each other, and making s'mores with each other, keeping in mind that even as they're getting cooked, they're laughing and smiling. You're missing the point of these characters.
I have nothing for or against that scene. I think we're going to find out how it plays out in the bigger film. And
I think we live in a world where everybody, especially YouTubers, want to go out of their way to crap all over everything and say everything sucks because that's how they get their clicks on their videos.
Yeah. And I don't think nothing about this Ghostbusters trailer so far seems bad to me that I've heard of it. I mean, we'll see when the final product comes out. They have a lot of goodwill to win back after that last thing. It sounds
like we're going to get Bill Murray back with a proton pack on his back. Based on something he said.
I was happy enough just to hear that Ernie Hudson and Annie Potts were coming back. Because I always liked Winston a lot. So, and you never know, the three remaining may show up.
Bill Murray was the big get, and honestly, all of them getting any of them back after. They've all said this. They got a bait and switch with the 2016. They showed up to do their scenes, and they were completely different. The script was completely different than what they were shown when they signed. And Dan Aykroyd was really pissed about it. He was really pissed.
Wait a minute. You mean they were dealing with a different script before they shot it? Okay.
Originally, when they got everyone signed on, the 2016 movie was billed as a sequel. It was everything that we said we wanted it to be, where they were going to be in canon, the Ghostbusters handing off the reins to, the new Ghostbusters, and it was going to be a continuation.
So something like Extreme Ghostbusters, where you have the new generation coming, and taking over. Yeah. Okay.
And unfortunately, when they got on set, nope, you guys are going to be playing completely different characters, and this is a complete reboot. Your Ghostbusters never happened. And they're like, well, we're under contract. We don't have a choice. So they did their scenes and they left.
Everyone got very angry with that truck. Because in 1980 something, 4 scientists saved New York City, and they're And then some guy who I was watching the rewatch says, wait a minute, Winston wasn't a scientist.
Right. Exactly. So now they're going back and they're doing it right. And there's going to be a big push. If you like this, then you hate women and you're an istophobe. And, we cannot let that happen. We need to support, fandom.